Hello everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Danielle Eichner. I am the art therapist at Sinai Hospital, one of the art therapists. You'll also see some videos from my cohort, Peyton. And our goal is to kind of bring to our patients, but everybody that's viewing, some ideas of art making that you could be doing around the house during this time. I know that everybody doesn't have a whole art room full of materials, but there's lots of stuff that you probably have that you're not thinking of, or things that you can use that are around the house that you might use for something different. So my goal here is to do some stuff with art materials, but also to do some art making with things I find around the house. So stay tuned to other videos coming your way, but this is our first video, and this is my first video ever, so bear with me. But for this video, I wanted to show you guys some mask making. And what I did was I created 4 of the same animal. Animals are really cool to make masks out of because there's a lot of different animals. I'm sure most of you guys have a favorite animal. There's animals that we might identify with because of their personalities, and the sounds they make, and the moods they have, and the movements they make. But the other cool thing about mask making is that after we create our product, right, after we make art and we have this finished beautiful mask that then we can carry on to do other things with, and we can talk about that at the end of this. But what I used to make our masks was paper plates. So this is something that you might have around the house. If you don't have any paper plates, you can use cardboard. If you ask an adult to help you cut out a circle of cardboard, you could also use paper if you have a thick paper. Anything that's maybe going to be a little sturdier than like a sheet of printer paper. But I chose paper plates because hopefully a lot of you have something like this around the house. I know a lot of people are getting packages right now because we can't go out and shop. So if you ask an adult, I'm sure they can cut up one of those boxes and make a circle out of that if you don't have any paper plates. So the animals I chose to make was a lion, and that's just because my 2-year-old is obsessed with Madagascar and obsessed with lions, and she does have kind of a feisty personality and roars at me a lot. So these are the masks that I made. I did this one, which is out of construction paper and beans and lentils, so things that I found from my pantry. This one is strictly just a paper plate and markers because I figured a lot of people probably have markers. This one I did out of tissue paper, and if you don't have tissue paper in your craft box, you might have it in a box of wrapping paper and materials that your mom or dad or grandma have at their house. And then this one is out of construction paper and pasta. So once again, I kind of raided the pantry. So those are some ideas of things that you could kind of make, and you can take some of the materials that I used and use them to make other animals. It doesn't have to be a lion. So I'm going to show you just a couple of techniques that I use to make these masks, but I'm not going to make like a whole one with you guys. So once again, I'm going to show you the ones that I made. So we've got the pasta, we've got tissue paper, we've got the markers. So I won't show you anything with this because you guys probably know how to use your markers. I kind of kept it really kind of scribbly to kind of show texture, which reminded me kind of the lion's fur. And then I used construction paper and beans and lentils and rice. So a couple of things, I'm gonna push you guys down here so you can kind of see my hands. Let's see. Is for this guy that I used the beans and rice with, you just kind of want to look in your refrigerator, or your refrigerator, I guess you could look in your refrigerator, but your pantry for some pieces more like dried beans and dried rice and like lentils, and beans come in different colors, to find things that might remind you of the animal you want to make. These are some beans and lentils that I had already been playing with. We put them in a big bin and we're using them to kind of dig around with like we would a sand table. But when I saw them, they reminded me of our lion and its colors. So this is what I used to create the fur and the face and around the eyes of my lion. And all I simply did was Elmer's glue, and I squirted it onto my plate. Or you can do this where I poured some in a cup, and you can use a paintbrush and you can kind of paint it on. But you're gonna wanna use your paintbrush in either way because you're gonna wanna spread it out, right? And then we're just gonna take our colors and we're just gonna kind of spread it on, just like we would if we were using glitter in the clinic. And we're gonna let it dry, and then once it dries, then we would kind of shake it off in a tray or over the trash can, because not all of it, even you can see now, not all of it's gonna stick. So you can also be really specific. I have some of these bigger black beans, right? And so if I draw a certain area I want in glue, then I can take these ones that I want in a specific color and I can use them like I did to go around the eyes. I can even start to make a pattern. So depending on the colors you have, if you have beans that are white or a light color and you want them to be a different color, you could use your markers to color them. So you can start to make a pattern, kind of like I'm doing here with the black and the orange and the black and the orange. So really, any surface you want to kind of cover, think of unique things in your pantry that you could pull out and do. You don't want it to be any materials that are too heavy, but like things that are like this size will stick really well. And so the other thing I did was I used construction paper to create his mane, right? And so really your paper plate's gonna be your friend with that again. I'm just gonna put that over here. You're just gonna wanna take a piece of construction paper and you're going to just trace it. So we'll trace our paper plate so that way we know, it doesn't have to be anything that's perfect, but that way we know it's gonna be the size of our paper plate. And then we're gonna use our scissors to cut that circle out. And now we could glue this whole piece to the paper plate if we wanted all one solid color. For me, when I made the mane, what I did was I folded it and I cut out another circle because I wanted this part of the plate to be open to use my beans with. And so I have this. And if you keep it folded, you can just cut some slits in it. And then when you open it, you have all this cool texture. And if you just kind of bend some and move some, you're gonna get it to look even more textured. And then you can use your glue to like attach it